We ask that you continue to go ahead of him, and for us as a church, as we are continually reminded that we are different and that there is remarkable journeys that everybody has been on, but some of them we need help to see. So thank you for Isaac's help in helping us see. We ask for your blessing on him, his family, and the whole Nepalese community who are part of our church family. In your name, amen. You can be seated. Thanks, mate. And as we said, the TV cameras will be here a little later on, and you can see why it's important for, I think, the whole of Hobart to see this story, don't you? And I love that our job as a church, one of the things that the Old Testament prophets were always focused on is, what does it mean to care for the refugees? And I love that now the Nepali church are working out what does it mean for us then to care for others, our brothers and sisters who aren't part of our church.
In the late 1980s, the Bhutanese government embarked on a program of ethnic cleansing directed at the Nepali community, the Lotsampa, who had been living peacefully alongside the Bhutanese population in southern Bhutan as brothers and sisters since the late 19th century. Being seen as a threat to the political order of Bhutan, it initially restricted access to education, employment and freedom of religion, but quickly spread to include raids by the Bhutanese army on the Nepalese population that included harassment, imprisonment, rape and torture, all designed to cause migration. They burnt houses, forcing many families to leave their homes and hide in the forests to escape the ongoing persecution. Demonstrations and peaceful protests led to schools and institutions in southern Bhutan being closed down and productive farming properties being confiscated, resulting in thousands of people being compelled to leave the country. They travelled across the north of India and asked for asylum in eastern Nepal, where the UNHCR established 7 refugee camps.
Arriving in Nepal, my first memories were of standing in the forest, watching buses loaded with the people and their possessions, traveling along bus tracks, dropping people off as they looked for a place to settle. Temporary shelters were built using the branches and leaves of salt trees. Forest guards, whose job was to protect the valuable salt trees, forced some refugees to live and settle on open land near the river. But we stayed in the forest, which was gradually clear as more and more people settled there. After 5 years, it had grown into a well-organized refugee camp.
Bhutanese refugees collecting drinking water at the Sunnish Cherry camp in eastern Nepal. Water taps are located throughout the camps, and a number of huts share a single tap. The water comes on for only a few hours twice a day, in the morning and afternoon, and is transferred from the taps to the huts in an assortment of plastic and metal containers. The refugees remaining in the camp bid their Australian-bound friends and relatives farewell as they depart for their new home. It is a sad moment as they gather to see them off. In many cases, those leaving the camp are leaving friends and relatives behind, but they are filled with hope of a new and better life in what will be their new home. More than 5,000 have resettled in Australia.
I was neither Bhutanese nor Nepalese. I was stateless. Australia accepted me, and I am now belong to somewhere. I am proud to be Australian. I feel like I now have a home. Painting is one way to express my happiness in living in this beautiful Tasmanian landscape.